Let's have a look at number 1 and talk about the first semi-final, which is going to be South Africa versus Afghanistan. Michael, you had said that I don't think any team would want to play Afghanistan in the semis. I think yesterday you said that South Africa would rather play Australia than Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Trinidad, it's at night. I did see a bit in Afghanistan today, though, if you can get them under pressure.
Yes.
I think there's something there that South Africa can work with. I'm intrigued to see how South Africa play. Because every game I've watched them in this World Cup, they've looked nervy, but they've won. Now you're into a semi-final. You're into the semi-final stage, and there's that massive tag and there's that massive weight on the South African team is that, they just don't want to fail again. And you wouldn't mind failing playing well, but you just wouldn't want to fail in a South Africa case if it was like the other day when they were chasing down that score against the West Indies, like, oh my God, they're going to lose this. How are you going to lose this? But they have to play with a freedom. I love Markram against the West Indies, his bowling options. I thought he was fantastic because he did think out of the box and he went with a lot of spin, and it's something that I've not seen from a South African team. So I do think they've got a captain that's very, very clever, which is going to help them. The pitch in Trinidad we've seen a couple of times. I don't think it's going to be a 180, 200 kind of wicket. It's probably going to be 140, 150. So I do think that style of score suits Afghanistan, because I think their batting unit is a 140, 160. Anything beyond that, and if South Africa get beyond that, I just don't think Afghanistan can chase that down. But I'd say South Africa are favourites without any question. They've got pretty much everything covered. But I wouldn't want to face Afghanistan. That bowling attack is very, very hard to get.
And also, Joyda, South Africa, the opening has been a worry. So they have been kind of dependent on their middle order and then dependent on their pacers to step up.
Absolutely. Even Miller's not been great. I mean, in that sense, as I said, their middle order has got to give them something. Their pacers have been absolute. I think their bowling unit has done really well for them. And I think Jansen gives them that balance. It's rare seeing a South African team without too many all-rounders, but Jansen is just the sole all-rounder but in these conditions, Markram comes into play as well. And remember, if you look at in terms of ICC tournaments, Markram is the only South African tournament winner. I mean, he won the under-19. So he is perhaps the best South African captain for a while now.
Yes.
And he's been excellent throughout this tournament. So if they can get it, Quinton de Kock is a big game player. He tees off in the semi-finals, it's game over, because he's capable of giving them that 160, 170, which is beyond reach of somebody like in Afghanistan. So I think he's very, very key. This is now the time for the big performance to come to the table.
I'm interested in what they do with Heinrich, because he's had a really poor tournament. He's just not been able to buy one. I mean, he got out first ball caught down the leg side off Andre Russell just a few days ago. And that's a big call. Do you go with someone who has got no runs but you think you're going to back him because he's due? Or do you go with someone like Ryan Rickerton who's just fresh out of the box?
Yes.
It's a real deliberation as a selecting unit and as a captain to kind of go through the psychology of, is it better to have someone out there who's got baggage from this tournament, or is it better to throw in someone that's just got no baggage, fresh mind, and can just watch the ball and react? It'd be interesting which way they go with that.
Let's have a look at Afghanistan's squad and see what you all think on this squad. The big question though is...
Gurbaz can't be fit.
Is he going to be?
He can't be fit.
So, Joyda, you think he's going to be fit enough to come back?
I think there's a really good doctor in physio in that camp. And a little birdie tells me that perhaps he might be fit enough. No, but jokes aside, I think their formula is very simple. What they're doing is going in with 8-9 bowlers, seeing their options. So Karote didn't bowl at all today. Doesn't matter. Karim Jannat doesn't bowl today. So that's the kind of choices that they have. Karote will not... I think they want to play him because it just gives them a whole lot of options. And I think they'll want to attack. None of the batsmen, as I said, what's your only other option? That you play Hazratullah Zazai in the middle. But I think they've got a winning formula and I don't think they want to change from it. A lot of all-rounders in the middle, and let's see what happens. Let's try and get them out cheap. 140, 150 we can chase.
But Michael, on a serious note, we saw Gurbaz limping after he got hit on the knee. That will be a serious blow for Afghanistan because we've seen what the top order has done for them. So they need Gurbaz 100% fit.
Absolutely. I mean, that opening partnership has been the story of the opening partnership throughout the World Cup. They're the only really consistent pair of the whole World Cup that's got their team off to a decent start. It's not always been a flying start, but it's always been a consistent start. Yeah, he'll have to be fit. I mean, they've got the best doctor in the world, so he'll be fit. Absolutely fine.
Well, whatever injection Gulbuddin got, they need Gurbaz to get that as well. But your players to watch out for?
For me, again, I think Klaasen is just such an important part of this, and especially on surfaces that are slower, his ability to hit spin makes him so important, especially when you're going to play against the right of Noor Mohammad and Rashid Khan. So me, Klaasen on this side, and the other side, it has to be Rashid Khan because he's just such an inspirational figure for his team.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go Rashid Khan, absolutely. He'll have to have a day out. That kind of matchup with Heinrich Klaasen is going to be fascinating, but I just think Quinton de Kock. I think Quinton de Kock, if he fires, I think he fires South Africa into the final.
Well, you said South Africa were the favourites. Do you still stick to that, or has that changed?
In the semi? Oh, I think South Africa are favourites, yeah.
For you, Joyda?
I think they're favourites as well. Because I think, Afghanistan's done a lot, but still I think South Africa are favourites. So in terms of the overall talent, especially I think the bowling units match up pretty decently with perhaps even Afghanistan having a little bit of edge. But I think batting-wise, if you go beyond the openers, I think South Africa have a far more complete middle order.